Hey Garrett, obviously regular season didn't end the way that you guys would have hoped, but how excited are you as just the team about this opportunity to go out there and close it out on a high note?
Yeah, it didn't go obviously how we wanted, but we can choose how we want to finish the year, and not every team gets to finish the year with a win, and try to give some hope going into the off season and a good vibe going into the off season. So that's what we can do. You can't change anything about the past, so just look forward and try to go get a trophy and send the off season into a good note.
Being from Ohio, did you pay attention to Kent State at all when you were growing up?
No, I really didn't. Obviously, I grew up in a family of Buckeyes, so I paid most of the attention to them. And then, I was obviously real close to Toledo and Bowling Green, so those were the two that really stuck out. But obviously, Ohio and that whole area is littered with MAC schools, so it's not that I never paid attention to them. There was just about 10 other teams within a few hours of me, so.
Garrett, does this kind of feel like a strange full circle situation since you were, kind of a freshman on that last Potato Bowl team, watching Josh and being a part of that team?
Yeah, it was fun. I mean, I remember, because that was the first year I actually, played. So that was my first bowl game I actually played in. Because we went to the Poinsettia Bowl. Obviously, I was redshirting then, but it was fun because I remember, Boise. Honestly, they do a really good job with the activities and going up there and having a good time in Boise. I mean, some people think, man, Boise in December, but then it's like, well, what they do with it for a bowl game, it's actually a pretty fun bowl game. So it was fun. I mean, I remember going there, and that's what obviously when Josh kind of said his farewells. So I think it means a little more to us older guys remembering that. But yeah, it is kind of weird. I've played my first bowl game there, and now I'm finishing off there and going against another MAC school, which I guess kind of always leaves a chip on my shoulder for me because I wasn't heavily recruited and I was right in their backyard, so kind of adds a little extra motivation for them.
Garrett, I assume you weren't shocked at all that Chad Moon was playing in this game?
No, I mean we all come here to play football, and that's what we're going to do. It doesn't matter our status or anything like that. We're going to play in the game because that's what we came here to do. So I honestly don't even think like the thought entered his mind like we're just we're going to play. So I expect nothing less.
Pete Callaghan's set to Washington State after more than a decade here in Laramie. Just what did he mean to that defensive line group during your time here? And how excited are you just for Marty to kind of take control of the full D line for the bowl game?
Yeah, well, first off, for Coach English, I mean, the guy's been coaching like 36 years, so he had us all together on Saturday as a D line. We met in here in the war room actually, and he was like, I've never specifically coached D tackles, but I've been around 36 years. I promise I can help you with something. So, he obviously knows defense better than any of us, and I'm excited for him because he's a guy that's just really fun to play for, and he has a standard for you, and everyone knows the standard every single day, and it's just kind of a yes sir thing. Like, all right, we're going to go out here, we're going to dominate practice, be the best group out there, and that's just what we do. So I'm excited for him to have full control. But as far as Calgus goes, I mean, obviously, like, it's tough. But obviously I'm leaving too, so I was going to have to say my goodbyes here in the next couple of weeks anyways. But for him, it's not just what he meant to the D-line, it's what he meant to the whole team. Coach Callaghan in a lot of ways was, the backbone of this team because he was a coach that I think the best things he did here weren't the X's and O's of football and weren't on the field. It was the relationships that he built with guys throughout the locker room, on the opposite side of the ball, the defensive side of the ball, things like that. I mean, he was just an outstanding role model to people, and that's something that you can't replace. You can't find another Pete Callaghan no matter how hard you try. You're not going to find one. And I think that's why, Coach Dickert hired him as an assistant head coach up there because he's, an outstanding leader and gets the most out of everyone, all the players on the team, just his passion for the game. And I think, up there as assistant head coach and doing it with Coach Dickert, it's going to be great for them, and it's a role that he deserves. But I can't tell you the impact that he left on my life. I know I got the text. I was actually in doing rehab when he texted us he was leaving, and I told Dave, I was like, all right, I got to go see Coach Callaghan real quick. I walked straight upstairs, and walked in the room and he turned around and we just gave each other a hug, and we just talked about some things over the last 6 years, and I'm happy for him because he deserves it, and he's going to be great, and hopefully he's a head coach someday because he could lead a heck of a team.
You guys beat 2 conference champions on the road, so you have that level in you.
Yeah.
How important is it for you to kind of leave on that note and maybe set the table for next year's team to continue that path?
Right. I think that's kind of like the thing for me is, my time's kind of coming up here. I've built a lot of relationships and tried to be the best captain and leader I could be and lead by example and also with words. But I think over the next 2 weeks, it's kind of just demonstrating, try to show a form of consistency and trying to leave these guys, going into this bowl game with, you always talk about wanting to leave someplace better than you found it. And that's what I think I can do over these next 2 weeks is, have a great time in bowl prep and finish off with a win, and try to, just help these guys have some, leave on or have a positive note going into the off season. So that's really what I'm going to try to do. And for me, even more than I have this season, I'm going to just try to talk to guys, and I even talked to some this morning, and just talking about what they need to do in the off season and what they need to do for their careers here and their futures. So I think I'm going to take a lot of time to do that on a personal level, and like I said, just leave this place better than I found it.
You didn't really plan on playing football when you went to your senior year in high school. You had other expectations.
Right.
Now that you've gotten through this period of time, what do you do next? Do you go back to your original plan, or do you have other ideas?
Next, I'm gonna train somewhere and see what the next level gives me. That's the goal right now, and talking to people and kind of seeing where all that goes. And I'm going to be full speed ahead at that, just like anything I do in life. So that's what I'll do next, and hopefully, I can play and go from there. But if that doesn't work out, then we might go to Plan B and go into the military, or if that doesn't, kind of see how my body is at that point. It's gone through a lot playing football, but I've always thought about maybe strength coaching or something like that here at this level. I've been around Coach Donovan and Coach Ben, which are 2 of the best guys you'll ever find. Obviously they're under Tommy Moffitt at LSU, which is probably he's kind of the GOAT when you look at strength coaching. So I've been lucky to have those guys. So we'll kind of go from there. But right now and over the next couple of months, football's on my radar, and playing and stuff this winter, and then training as well. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett, do you ever look at that picture you had posted on Twitter when you first came to Laramie, and how little you were and how skinny you were, and kind of reminisce a little bit and think about all you've been through?
Some people have asked me if I've kind of reminisced and stuff, and I haven't done a lot of that yet. I think I will when I am done. Maybe in January or something like that. I'll kind of look back, because a lot of people are like, man, it's probably fun just to look how far you've came and everything. And I was like, yeah, but I've always thought that looking behind you doesn't really move you forward. So I've never really wanted to do that. But I will bring up that picture sometimes, because guys will come in and be like, man, I'm too small to do this, or I was like, look at this, all right? If I can do it, you can do it, okay? I showed up here, and Coach Bull was he was gutsy, man. Shoot, they just came off a 2-10 season, and then they brought in a kid from Hicksville, Ohio that weighed 190 pounds. Fans had to be like, what the heck is he doing? But obviously, that's why he's Coach Bull, and he's a smart dude, and he knows a lot more than anybody else. So I guess hopefully it paid off for him. But it's been fun, trying to grow through all this, and I think I've completely changed as a person and as a man. So, it's been a great experience, and surely after this bowl game, maybe a couple weeks before I start training, maybe I'll look back and reflect. But as for now, like I said, I just never thought looking at the past really helps you. So.
Garrett, speaking of looking forward, we've seen Jalen Pate have an impact this year, but
yeah,
who are some young guys behind the scenes developing that you think will be able to help fill your shoes next year?
Yeah, Obviously, Devon Harris, too, which you guys already know. He's kind of in the same role as Jalen. He hasn't obviously got as much playing time just because, until I guess Solo went out. But, shoot, when you have 5 guys that could all play and have started, it's hard to get you all in there, But, he's one guy that I think is going to show a lot of good moves off the edge. I know you guys saw him against Boise in 2020. He really worked those guys. And I think that's something that he can do. But I think you look at guys like Braden Siders and Sebastian Harsh. Those are 2 guys that I think are coming along. Both have good speed. Bash does. You can see him on special teams. And Braden's a guy that, he came in and had that knee injury his freshman year. And he's been putting on weight. He's one of those guys that kind of like I referred to with the picture, like he was like, man, I don't know if I can do it. Well, he can do it. He got himself up to like 230 pounds in the winter. And, he's a guy that plays super, super physical. I mean, you love him because he'll just run his head through a wall for no reason sometimes, but he just does it. So that's great for playing D-line. He's a Coach English type of guy. So I think those are 2 guys that you'll see coming along that are just going to play aggressive and fast and kind of just look like the rest of us DNs here. A lot of people say we're undersized or whatever like that, but shoot, we're going to play hard and hit you in the mouth, and a lot of people don't like that no matter your size. So